Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5, 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Good morning, citizens. Happy Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Tracy G, good morning.
H. Bizzle, what it do?
It do good. The reason why the citizens are hearing our voices today, the whole crew is here except for Sway. This is a travel day today from him from the West Coast back to the East Coast where he spent his holiday weekend. But I got to tell you, Tracy G,
tell me.
I had a very, very interesting conversation with a friend of mine who's in the league. I won't say which sport, but he came into town. He called me on Saturday and said, yo, HB, I'm in town for 2 days. Let's hook up. Let's go out and have a drink. So I said, all right, fine. So we met up, had a drink. He said, wow, it's cold here. I need a jacket. So I was like, all right, cool. Where do you want to go? You want to go to Bergdorf? You want to go to, Barney's? Where do you want to go and get a jacket? He's like, well, what's wrong with this store right here? It was Modell's. The jacket was $49.99. So I was like, well, wow. You cool with that? He was like, well, I just need a jacket to run around the city in. All right, no problem. So, it just had me thinking. And I said, look, we never talk about money. I think it's rude. I think you shouldn't do that. But we never talk about money.
Right.
I said, you started this conversation by saying you need a jacket. You want me to make some baskets for you, for your relatives for Christmas. How much is your Christmas budget?
Let's hear it.
And he said, well, how much is yours? And I said, I spend anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 on Christmas.
That's adult life? Yo.
So I don't think that was a stunt. I mean, between my nieces and nephews, it's a trillion of them. My parents, my aunts, uncles, grandmothers, great-grandmother, up between $1,000 and $2,000.
Wow.
He said, my budget is the same as yours.
Oh.
I said, wait a second. We never talk about money. In a roundabout way, how much money do you make a week? He said, after taxes, after everybody gets paid, here you go, his take-home pay is $396,000 a week, and we have the same damn Christmas budget.
Goddamn shame.
One of us ain't playing right.
Not at all.
And I decided it was me. Citizens, 888-742-3345. All this Black Friday and Hoopla Saturday and Cyber Tuesday. How much money are you guys spending on these Christmas gifts? Because my budget has now dropped down to $300. One of us ain't playing right. Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. Let's go! Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5, 12 minutes past the top of the hour, 888-742-3345. Citizens, I was just sharing this story this weekend. Tracy G, a good friend of mine who's in the league, came into town, told me he needed me to make some of my homemade baskets for him as Christmas gifts. Told me he needed a jacket. I offered him Bergdorf Goodman's,
right.
Barney's. He went into Modell's and bought a $49 jacket. And then when we started discussing Christmas budgets, we have the same budget,
Damn
except
shame.
that after taxes, he brings home $396,000 a week to my pennies, and I decided my budget was too high for Christmas for $1,000 to $2,000. That's just me. I want to know what you guys are spending. Carl in Pittsburgh, good morning. How you doing, my love?
I said I'll be there in 20 minutes. Hello?
Hi, Carl, where you going to be in 20 minutes, damn it? Who, you talking to me or you talking to your boo?
Listen, how about this? I ain't talking to no boo. I got a fucking 16, I'm sorry for cussing. I got a 16-year-old son I'm about to crush right now, but what's new? Like I said, I got a 55. Right now I'm sitting at 5,500. And I start freaking Christmas shopping in August. I got 4 birthdays between now and January the 1st.
Carl, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, listen. Let me explain. I have 5 sons, okay? There's no way in heck that I'm going to be spending $225 on some damn Jordans in one day and be able to, function.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. I don't care who you are. If you're trying to spend all your money that you got last week for Christmas, what happens when New Year's comes on? You going to go in the New Year broke?
That's true. What do you do for a living, Carl?
I run a couple transportation services.
Oh, okay.
Cabs and limos and stuff. But
That's
I'm not
really
making
good.
those $359,000 every week too. That ain't happening.
After taxes. Thank you, Carl, for your call. You're a citizen of Sway in the morning. Frank and Callie, good morning. Frankie.
Yo.
How you doing, Frank?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Is your name Frank?
Nah, it's Ray Boogie.
Okay, that's our citizen, Big N, assistant. He messed up. All right, Ray, I'm sorry. What are you spending your money on for Christmas? What's your budget like? Because I had to come to terms and humble myself.
Well, I plan on spending about $2,000 to $3,000 on Christmas, but I have a few birthdays in the end of December. So I gotta put some money aside for that. You know, I have a daughter whose birthday is on Christmas Day,
Wow.
and then another daughter whose birthday is on the 30th. So I gotta do Christmas and birthday parties. You know, I got 5 kids, 4 baby mamas.
Wow.
So, and I'm cool with them. So, it's a good thing being cool with them, but when you're cool with them, you gotta, they always get their hands out.
Now, what do you do for a living, Frank?
My name is Ray.
All right, I'm sorry. What do you
Tell me
do?
what you want, baby girl.
What do you do, Ray?
I drive the truck. I'm an owner operator. I train drivers. That's why I'm in Cali right now. I live in Tacoma, Washington. I'm from Ohio, X-Town. And, I drive. That's
Wow,
why.
you drive. So you're one of our road warriors. You're also a citizen of Sway in the morning. Thank you so much. YB in Chicago. I hope I got your name right.
Yeah, you got it right. You don't remember me?
Where I remember you from, YB?
Probably like a month or so ago, I used to call like almost every day and talk to you guys in the morning. Get y'all up on my music, get y'all up on my company, all type of stuff. I used to talk to Sway in depth on the radio.
I don't even remember, YB. Since you spoke to him in depth, how much you spending on Christmas? Did you tell me that? What's your budget like?
Well, I told the guy that picked up, I told him about $500, but I was always raised, you get one thing that you absolutely want.
Yeah.
And then everything else is what you need.
Wow. I'm going to apply that, YB. I hope you continue on with your music career as well. You're a citizen of Sway in the morning. We got so many phone calls. Y'all leave your messages and voicemail. We'll play it back at the end of the show. Up next, Tracy G has the Daily News.
Yep, and we may finally be seeing an upgrade in Obamacare.
That's up next. Sway in the morning, Shade 45. Sway in the morning, Shade 45. 9 minutes past the top of the hour. The one and only Tracy G.
Yes, and unfortunately, citizens, I have to start on a negative note because we know on Saturday, actor Paul Walker, he tragically died in a car accident. This was at the age of 40, along with his friend who was in the driver's seat. Now, if you're on the internet, you saw that the news
in the morning, Shade 45
throughout Hollywood, and the future of the mega hit franchise Fast and Furious currently hangs in the balance because they are in the middle of their 7th installment, and now it's being reported that filmmakers must consider how to proceed without one of their biggest stars in the lineup now. So it's unclear how many scenes that Paul was actually able to complete before his death, but insiders close to the production say that key scenes featuring him are supposed to begin filming within the next week. And also a TMZ source that says that they will most likely be halting production as the film undergoes rewrites, because as we've seen, if you were on the blogs, you saw Tyrese crying. A lot of the cast, they're distraught. Vin Diesel, Ludacris, Michelle Rodriguez, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they've all gone on social media to say their condolences.
Sorry to hear that. And of course, condolences go out, and we'll see how it all plays out at the end with this Fast and Furious movie franchise. What else you got?
Absolutely. From sadness to anger. It appears that if bad twerk can get you on the VMA, citizens, it can get you anywhere because there is some new Miley Cyrus outrage. She is currently in the lead for Time Magazine's Person of the Year reader poll. 21-year-old Miley is 29% of the head of the vote. That means that she has surpassed President Barack Obama. She has said peace out to Pope Francis, and it looks like she's going to be holding the crown.
Miley Cyrus as the Person of the Year for Time Magazine.
Yeah.
You know what this says? How bad the magazine industry is doing.
Well, here's the thing. According to the official rules, Time's actual person of the year, at the end of the day, it's decided by their editors. So it's going to be interesting to see if they go to shock value route by putting Miley on there, or if they're going to be a little bit more socially responsible.
Tracy G, what do editors care about?
I know.
Oh, sales. So nobody's going to buy a magazine with the Pope on the cover. I'm sorry. I love the Pope. I was raised Catholic, but keep it moving, Tracy G. What else you got?
If he's got a rainbow flag, I'll buy it. Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
boo.
I'm just being honest. Now, Kanye West, he done pissed off his future mother-in-law. This is Kris Jenner. We all remember the Bound 2 video. It looks like some really weird 90s screensaver. We've got Kim Kardashian. She's topless. She's straddling Kanye. She's jiggling all over him. Well, according to reports from Radar Online, there was a private screening for the music video for just her and her family. And Kris Jenner, upon glancing at this visual, went ballistic, telling her daughter that this is worse than the 2007 leaked sex tape that she made with Ray J, because that was meant to stay in private. Meanwhile, this video is out in the public. They're also saying that Kris started crying, saying how ashamed she was to see her daughter being forced into something so degrading. And she also says that it's destroyed Kim's credibility. On top of that, Khloe and Kourtney, Kim's sisters, they reportedly were pissed off at the video, saying it's disgusting and disrespectful, and they are considering an intervention.
Time out. Did you just go Spanish halfway in between?
I did.
Wait a minute.
She sounded like Count Chocula.
Okay. Two things, Tracy G.
What's up?
I don't believe this story for one moment.
Really?
I don't believe that her mom did not know she was going to do this video prior to her doing it. Her mom has been very protective, and I don't believe her mom didn't know about the sex video either.
Dang.
You know my history on them. I think the mom is extremely calculated. However, if this is his future mother-in-law, I think eventually Kim's mom, Kris Jenner, and Kanye will bump heads.
Right.
Because the mom just stays in their business a lot, Kim.
And if Kanye bumps heads with Sway, he's going to bump heads with Kris.
Oh, so Tracy G, you brought that up. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
had to.
curious about the citizens. 888-742-3345. How do you deal with your nosy in-laws? I won't say the fathers, because most likely the mother-in-laws are really, really nosy and they get involved. My daughter shouldn't be doing this. Well, my son shouldn't be doing that. I want to hear these stories, citizens. I may have some advice for you. 888-742-3345. DJ Wonder, you killing this morning. Sway in the morning, Shade 45.
Now more Celebrity Wire.
You know what?
Is that what I said?
Because I'll wear your ass out.
That's a threat.
On Sway in the Morning.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45, 18 minutes past the top of the hour. Tracy G, what is going on with Kanye and his future mother-in-law?
Well, apparently he's messing things up in the Kardashian household, because Kris Jenner, she was not about seeing her daughter Kim looking like a porn star in the Bound 2 video. Reportedly, she caught a private screening and she went ballistic in the theater, saying that it's worse than the sex tape that Kim made with Ray J, and how she's not having it. The sisters are mad. Everyone's like, Kanye, we want you out.
I don't really believe that story. I believe that the mom and the sisters knew. They're all in each other's business to me, you know. But I do wonder about our citizens out there, 888-742-3345, about your in-laws, and especially the mother-in-laws, because those are the typical nosy ones, right?
Oh, yeah.
If they're in your business, share your story. Josh in Rhode Island, good morning.
Good morning, Heather B.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad. How about you? Hey, Tracy G.
Hey.
We're doing good over here. Now, are you married? Are you just in a relationship? What's going on?
I'm in a long-term relationship. I've been with my girl a little over 2 years. She has two wonderful sons. So, I mean, I'm going to marry her. I treat her kids like mine. So, I mean, I'm in it for a long time.
Good for you. But?
Her mom's crazy. It's not about being in her business. My girl wasn't raised by her mom. She was raised by her grandmother. And her mom basically has, like, the mental aptitude of, like, a 14-year-old with no internalization process. So she has no filter. And, I mean, like, she kind of, like, just feels like she's owed, like, everything because she gave birth to her daughter. And, like, it's wild because, like, I'll stand up there and be like, you shouldn't talk to your daughter this way. And she'll just come at me like, you shouldn't talk to me this way. And, like, me and her daughter are in total agreement that her mom's crazy. So, like, luckily we don't beef on that. But, I mean, just dealing with her mom on holidays on a day-to-day basis, it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine the holidays must be tough. But stay the peacemaker, Josh, if you can. It'll be easier on you. You're a citizen of Sway in the Morning. Thank you so much for your call. Q in Virginia, what's up?
What's going on?
Everything is good, man. Now, what's going on with you? You in a relationship? You married? Tell me the story.
I'm married. I have no issues at all. So I'm calling for tips and advice when you're dealing with, mother-in-laws, because really the mother-in-laws, the dad's not really that strict. You just got to be respectful. Respectfully ask them, just get back out of your situation. You married her, you didn't marry the mom.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a little tough. The mother-in-laws, they're bullies.
Mm-hmm.
They come in there to start acting like the gooch, and they just ruin your house. They want to take over your kitchen. It's a tough situation, Tracy G, to be in. Steve in Queens, good morning.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on with you? You married?
I'm married, baby, with 2 beautiful kids.
Congratulations, Steve. Now, is your mother-in-law nosy?
No, my mother-in-law is not nosy, and Tracy G, she's already a porn star. She put that video out to get famous.
Oh, come on. You got to make multiple videos to be a porn star.
The bottom line is, this is not the average mother-in-law.
Yeah, I agree with you. Steve. You're a citizen of Sway in the morning. Brian also wanted to say, Tracy G, that Kanye's going to beat you up over that comment that you made of his Sway.
Is it
He's
not
going to spaz out. Well, that's what he said. The rest, citizens, leave your calls. We'll play the voicemails back at the end of the show. You have another story, Tracy G?
Yep, we got to find out who won big at last night's Soul Train Awards.
That's up next. Sway in the morning, Shade 4. Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. Yeah, we laughing. 26 minutes past the top of the hour. You know what? We just see a lot, you guys, when the music is playing.
Yep.
And while people actually hear some of the celebrities and they're doing their interviews, a lot happens face to face. I'm going to write a book one day, Tracy G.
I'm going to add some words in there.
And I'm going to be on the bestsellers list once I write about the Kanye interview. What happened while the music was
After.
playing.
Oh, Lord.
Unbelievable. All right, last story, Tracy G.
Okay, so last night was the 2013 Soul Train Awards, hosted by our buddy with the nice tummy, Anthony Anderson. Now, there weren't a lot of scandals. There weren't really any slutty antics. It went pretty smoothly. So I'm just going to tell you guys about the big awards that were taken. Robin Thicke with T.I. and Pharrell. For Blurred Lines, they took home the award for Song of the Year as well as Best Collaboration.
Yeah.
Janelle Monáe, she had Video of the Year for Queen, which featured Erykah Badu. And Album of the Year went to Kendrick Lamar for Good Kid, Mad City.
I thought Anthony Anderson did a good job as the host. I will say he is a friend of the show, but I thought he did a really good job. I was kind of confused, though, because it seemed like when he did the opening number, he got hurt a bit when he went down to do the split.
Uh-oh.
And then, some guy came out with a headphone, so I wasn't really sure if he got hurt or not, but I'm going to text him and find out if he really was bruised. I also thought Wendy Williams did a really good job on the red carpet. She was very good. It was nice to see her on television at night.
What I would do to recycle her wigs, man. Send that down to me, Wendy.
Oh, gosh, Tracy.
They're excellent.
Yeah, well, Wendy, she keeps her stuff together. That's Wendy Williams. How you doing? All right, that's it for Celebrity Wire.
Yep.
Man, citizens, you missed him for some time now. He is back. He is up. He spent his holiday in the DMV area, because that's where DJ Wonder be at, posted all them hot pics from the thrift store. You know, he does that Mike Jones t-shirt. I'm going to cop that from DJ Wonder. The one and only, it's DJ
Wonder.
Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5, 2 minutes past the top of the hour. Citizens, if you're getting out your car, you still want to follow us, go to SiriusXM.com/mobile app and listen to us while you're at work, in school, walking through the hallways, that kind of good stuff. Don't want to get you in trouble in school. Man, DJ Wonder, salute. Like DJ Wonder on Facebook. Follow him at DJ Wonder Pics. Also, Twitter at DJ Wonder. He is there. He has a DJWonder.com too. Make sure you do that for DJ Wonder. He killed that mix. He played that Roll with the Flavor. I haven't heard that in a long time. All right. Citizens is all over the place right now. Evelyn Lozada, she's a friend of the show. She's pregnant, Tracy G. I'm so happy for her. But when she came by recently, she said the next time she's in a relationship, she's going to keep it quiet. But a little birdie has been going around saying she's with Carl Crawford from the Dodgers. Who knows? But congratulations, Evelyn Lozada. We rooting for you, girl. That's up next. Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5.
You're listening to Sway in the morning. Take that. Rewind it back. On Shade 45.
Success stories, especially in the realm of reality TV. I use Heather B. You know.
Oh my gosh, here it comes.
I use Heather B as an inspiration. You know. Oh, well, hold on. I'll call you back. Whoa, damn. I guess I won't. I used Have the B as an inspiration. Being the first African-American reality TV star there ever was, I like to do that. And she was able to take that momentum and convert it into something else that's even bigger. When often, the majority of the time, people aren't able to do that. Once they go on reality TV, they get divorces, their life goes spiraling down, and, they're not often, and then they have that moment, and then they disappear.
Right.
And then came Evelyn, a fitness blogger for the Huffington Post,
Pow.
a fashion contributor for OK Magazine, spokesperson for Pearl Bright Teeth Whitening, fitness video for Real Fit Female, lifestyle website EvelynLozada.com. She's helping everyone with her Live Life Youthfully slogan and campaign and movement. Still on reality TV. And she was even a T-shirt manufacturer. And she's here with us today.
Yes.
And a survivor of domestic violence.
Yay.
And she's here with us today. Give it up for our sister.
Yes.
Evelyn Lozada is here, man.
What an introduction.
Man, I had to give you that, because, listen, man, let's just be, I'm not a big Basketball Wives watcher. I watched that first season a lot, and I have my issues with reality TV in general. Nothing personal. I expressed this to you when you came up here and you co-hosted. But I can also separate individuals from that whole industry as a whole, and what you go through, you've gone through some real life shit in front of our very eyes.
Yes.
And we've also watched you in many ways, not everything, but we watch you work through it, and you standing strong. So that deserves acknowledgement and a round of applause.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
We have to give that up. We have to give up the love too. Most people like to give up the hate.
Yeah, there's always a lot of hate.
It's always a lot of hate, right?
All the time. I'm like, damn.
And then, and I know you're going to be, first of all, if you're in the tri-state area, if you want to meet Evelyn, she's going to be in New York today. The Healthy, Bold, Beautiful, Strong, and Simply Age-Defying campaign for the launch of Youth H2O, which is an age-defying solution drink. She's going to be at Dwayne Reed's stores, right? I want to get that out the way. Why are you doing this, by the way? How did you get involved with this?
Because this is actually, first of all, I get asked to do so many things.
Yeah.
And, after all the craziness, I really focused on fitness. And this opportunity came to me. And I was like, all right, let me try it. Because, people want you to, endorse all types of BS.
Yeah.
But, I tried it and I was like, this is actually really, really amazing. It's just all natural products. People confuse it with the 5-hour because the bottle looks similar.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like that. There's no caffeine in it. It's all natural. And it's just truly, truly amazing. It takes about 2 weeks for you to feel something. I don't know if you remember season 2, I've always battled acne. Like it helped me with my skin. It just makes me feel great. And it's like it's vitamin in a bottle. It's really great.
You said 2 vitamin in a bottle helps you with your skin. So I drink this 2 weeks. What I'm gonna feel? Like
you're gonna feel strength.
Uh-huh.
It gives you energy.
Uh-huh.
And it also helps your immune system.
Will it help my fuck game, like in bed?
It could help your fuck. I mean, yeah, because it gives you energy. So if you have 3 minutes, it may give you a good 10.
Why you minimize me? Why you start off at 3?
Started at the bottom.
Started at the bottom. Now I'm here, so I can have a strong 10 minutes.
Strong 10.
Yo.
You may even give her a good 12.
12?
Yes.
I'm gonna give her 12 anyway.
Okay.
But damn it, is 12 good though? A 12, a strong 12, ladies. A strong 12.
No, that's just starting off.
Yeah, 12's
Freaky
12's
ass.
a little. What kind of in the morning? 12's not bad if you just trying to get a quickie in.
Yeah. Boom, 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 right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you. We watched this thing play with you and Chad. And that's been the focal point of this season to me. It's like Basketball Wives wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for your story.
Right.
Has it been hard? And you cry almost every episode, 2 or 3 times an episode now.
Yes.
When before you wasn't a cry, you was a tough, hardcore.
Right.
I'm assuming that experience probably left you.
Yeah,
vulnerable.
well, I always say I signed on to do reality TV, and that was what my reality was at the time. I could have been fake and said, well, I'm not filming this season. I'm not forced to film, but I said to myself, you know what, this happened, and I'm going to speak about it, not to make him look any worse, but because I also have a following, and people still wanted to know, like, what happened, even though it was so publicized, but just from me. And I wanted to show the therapy. I wanted to show, that I cried every day. I'm not embarrassed about it. This is what my life was at the time. Literally, it was tough filming that. I started filming before all of my castmates, so the incident happened in August. I started filming probably 3 weeks after that because they wanted to catch everything in the moment. And at the time, I was like, well, maybe I should, and maybe I should. But then I said, you know what? No, I'm going to, because I'm not going to be fake. I'm not just going to show the crazy side, the fun side. I'm like, this is fucked up. This is something that happened to me, and I just rolled with it. So that's why I'm crying every episode.
And then do you still have the scar?
Yeah, I mean, if you look, it's there, it's here.
Oh yeah, you can see it. That's about 2 inches.
Yeah, I had
inches,
6 stitches.
6 stitches on it, right? Mm-hmm. Do you get headaches as a result?
No,
of this?
I don't get headaches. Thank God I had an amazing plastic surgeon that came into the emergency room that day, because the doctors that were there, it was at such an angle that he didn't want to stitch it up, because he was like, this is your face.
Yeah.
So he had a plastic surgeon come in and he did the work, and then I actually just did treatment and stuff on it, just to, because if you look at the first episode when I filmed, you could really see it, and I just had to really take care of the scarring.
Well, you look great right now. I want to continue this conversation. Evelyn Lozada is here. We're going to open up the phone lines, 888-742-3345. I know the girls over here got a lot of questions, too. 12 minutes ain't good. You be begging for my 12. Come on, man.
I need y'all to rewind this and play this from the top. It's the Sway in the Morning Rewind. More up next right here on Shade 45.
So there was a conversation that you and Shawnee had, and in the conversation, you said you were talking about the opening of the weave bar, and you were frustrated with Heather, yada yada, and you made a statement. I was like, girl, what do you need me to do? Headbutt you? So for me, I felt like, who says that? Like, who says headbutt? Like, nobody says that. First of all, I've heard, I will punch that bitch in her face. Yeah, I will yoke that bitch. Yeah, I will pull her hair. Whatever. It wasn't a jab at you. It wasn't directed towards you at all. You've known me for a long time. If I got something to say to you, I'm going to come directly to you. You know exactly who I am at the end of the day.
Man, that's an excerpt from Basketball Wives. Evelyn Lozada is here. And that was Tasha, who's the former wife of Stephon Marbury.
No, they're
she's
still
the
married.
current wife of Stephon Marbury? I'm a big fan of Stephon's, as a basketball player, being from actually here in New York City, right? Yeah, so from this area. What is that all about? Who is Tasha, and what is this energy between the two of you? Like, I thought it was a tasteless joke that she said about headbutting, my personal opinion, considering your circumstance. What is the nature of y'all relationship?
Well, I thought we were cool, until I started hearing that during filming that she had made this comment. I've known her for 13 years or so. So we go back to when I was engaged to Antoine. So that's how long I know her. This is the thing. You're coming on a show that's established. Who else are you going to go after and try to make a mark on the show? The thing is that she picked the wrong thing to make fun about. We're 6 episodes in. You got 4,000 followers on Twitter. You ain't popping like that, and people were really offended. It's just certain things you can make fun of, and domestic violence is something that's not funny to a lot of the viewers.
Yeah.
So, when it came to me that she had said it more than once, because even Shawnee was like, she said it to me, like I didn't know how to react. Like Shawnee's face in one of the scenes was like, what the hell? So I think she was trying to be funny and trying to make her mark on the show, but it blew up in her face because, I have a following. A lot of the followers, despite of the controversy, or a lot of the women are very, very supportive. So they're like, who's this chick? So it was just really tasteless. And I think, and let me just clear something up. When I first started filming this season, she knew about the story in the book. My book is fiction.
Yeah.
Nobody would have known. If you would have never signed on to do B-Boy Wives, nobody would have ever known that was in the book. but you decided to come on the show and
The
use
Inner
it.
Circle book.
Yes.
Okay.
So you decided to come on the show and use it as a storyline because you ain't have shit else going on. So, now she wants to act like she's upset about it. And I'm like, well, we talked about it prior. You knew. But it's just so crazy to me how, she's trying to do little interviews and say like, well, why did she put that in the book? If you didn't sign on to do B-Boy Wives, it would have been a fart in the wind. Nobody would have even known that was
so
in the
eloquently
book.
put. A fart in the wind.
That's it. Because, he plays overseas. No one's really paying attention to what he's doing here. So nobody really knew the story. Yeah, it was in the Daily News.
What was the story?
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
real brief, quickly. What was the story?
So the story is, I'll talk about it now because it's public. The story is that they had a chef. He slept with the chef. She threatened to, I guess, allegedly, let me say allegedly. She allegedly, yes, threatened to, put it public. They had a settlement. I guess he was like, listen, don't say nothing. He agreed to pay her $1 million.
His wife?
No.
Oh.
Him.
Okay.
Yeah, he agreed. I don't think she knew about this when it happened. So he.
Oh, wait, hold up. The chef was going to go public with
The chef was going to go public.
Was a female. Okay.
Yeah, it was a female chef.
Okay.
She was going to go public, and then he decided they had an agreement. He decided to, I guess, agree to pay her $1 million for, hush. He ended up paying her the $600,000, and then that's why it became public probably like 8 months ago because, he was in default. He didn't pay the rest of the money. And then that's how it came out. But I knew the story because, it was something that was talked about amongst the wives that this situation happened. And then I was like, well, God, that's a good ass story for my book.
But you changed the names.
Oh, no, it's fiction. Nobody knows anything.
And then she brought it up. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Is that why he was eating Vaseline on YouTube?
Oh, when he did a YouTube video,
Yeah,
he kind of looked like he had a breakdown or something.
Well, he was going through like he was really going through something during that time, like a crisis, and said he's seen Jesus or something like that.
Oh,
wow.
Okay, glad for clearing that up. I wanted to know though, when you find love again, because you will, we all do. People go through stuff seriously, and if you're faithful, and if you'll find love again, would you do it again? No, you just say no already, so no more.
No, listen. Whoever I'm dating, whatever I'm doing, will remain as private as I can keep it. Even though people pry and want to know stuff, but no, I will not post pictures on Instagram. I'm not going to talk about it. I have learned my lesson. Yeah. Even though me and my ex-husband, we met on Twitter and everything was public from day one. I just don't really want that for my next man. So I rather just keep things on the wrap as much as I can.
Good for you.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship now?
No.
Well, because somebody just called with.
Say it.
I just saw who it was.
When people do this way, it's a tell. The nose scratch is a tell.
I guarantee you it's not the real name.
But I can see I saw the picture though.
Oh, shit.
It's the Sway in the Morning Rewind. You requested it, so we rewind. More highlights up next on Shade 45.
Evelyn Lozada is here. Chatting you. Do y'all communicate at all?
Oh, no. We don't communicate. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I don't have any ill will towards him.
Yeah.
I don't. He made a mistake. I feel like that's something that he needs to deal with. I feel like, that's something him and his family need to deal with. But we don't speak. The last time I talked to him was on January 11th, and I made it very, very clear that, because, I had some moments where I was like, well, maybe I'll go back. A lot of domestic violence survivors always want to go back. I don't know what that's about. I think it's because, these men are very manipulative, and then you feel bad and you want to be loved and all these things that women want, and you fall for the okie doke, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to move on with my life. And that was the last conversation I went. I haven't talked to him at all.
Okay,
Good
we
for
got
you.
Adriana in Milwaukee. What's your question for Evelyn? Go ahead, Adriana. Welcome to the show. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, what's your
I
question?
was wondering, how has the incident with Chad bettered you as a person?
Oh, the incident with Chad opened up my eyes to so many things that I will not deal with in my next relationship. I question a lot about myself, just saying to myself, how did I even deal with something like that?
Yeah.
So he was a blessing to me and definitely a teacher to me because it opened up my eyes on a lot of things that I, as a woman, that I would never put up with.
Okay, Evelyn Lozada is here with us. Nyquisha?
Mm.
Is that your name? Nyquisha. Nyquisha?
Naquasia.
Oh, okay, that's better. All right,
You can
Nyquisha.
just call me Quay. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually watching you on TV with my mom.
Oh, you are?
Yes, I am.
Tell your mom to say hi in the background.
Hi, Evelyn.
Damn,
Hi.
Damn. Y'all have a family question?
I actually was going to ask her how did her situation with Chad change her outlook on life, but the previous question was kind of similar.
All right, thanks for your call. Okay, we got D from
Sway.
Mississippi on the line. Go ahead, D. You got a question for Evelyn?
Yeah, what's up, Ev?
What's
It's a guy,
up?
man. No homo. I love your show, man. You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
But
Thank
I
you.
was just asking if I could be your Chris Brown's Carucci.
Wow. That's going to take Tracy a second to get that, right?
I'm trying to make that equation work. But you know what? Speaking about Chris Brown, Carucci, I know that you're friends with Rihanna, and she had to deal with a similar incident in the public eye. Did you guys talk at all? Was she a shoulder to lean on?
No, we didn't talk about that type of stuff. You know, whenever I seen her or hung out with her, had dinner with her, we just have a good time and just we don't want to talk about that stuff. Yeah, no.
All right. Well, Evelyn, look, thanks for coming by today. You got to come by more.
I know, I do. I'm in LA now because I flew the kite from Miami and said I'm going the fuck to LA.
Yeah, there
and
it
I'm
is.
on the other side
There
of the
it
map.
is.
So, but when I come back to my hometown, for sure.
Please do. And you're going to be at Dwayne Reed's stores today?
Yes,
right?
today
Okay.
from 4 to 6, 14th Street.
14th Street, Dwayne Reed. Make sure you come out and meet Evelyn, and it's for the Youth H2O, which is a solution drink. And do you have one for me? Because 2 weeks, I can have a strong 12 minutes. I'm trying to get a couple of those.
Yeah. I'll send you a whole box so we can just, spike it up a little.
Don't play, and I'll send you the results. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Evelyn, for coming by. Check her out on VH1 Basketball Wives every single week.
It's the Sway in the Morning Rewind. Only on Shade 45.
Yes, we do love Sway in the Morning. Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5. Tracy G, tomorrow will you be excited when Sway's here?
Yeah, especially if he got some food for us. I saw him going fishing again.
He never brings back anything. And can you imagine a piece of fish traveling 3,000 miles away? Tracy
Maybe
G.
he'll cook it in advance, yo. I have hope.
We've never had a cooked meal by Sway either.
I have hope.
No hope. Speaking of Sway, Kanye West.
Oh, God.
It is probably going to go down as the soundbite interview of the year. Between you ain't got all the answers, Sway. It ain't Ralph, though. Ain't no hold up. There was a lot of little sound bites in there as Kanye was having his fit, a.k.a. Lady Eloise, my gosh. You gotta love him. Citizens, you've been asking for it. It is here. Sway, Kanye West. That's up next. Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5.
Kanye West. I'm sorry, I know our time is limited and I don't see you. What I don't understand is...
I give you a little bit more time. We can go. Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. And you gave me time. You gave me my first TV. It's all coming together, man.
I gave Sway his first TV.
God damn it.
Like you just ain't never had a TV ever before in your life.
Kanye, you helped you, Sway.
That was classic, though, man. That was classic. But why is it that you need these people? It's like you said, you don't need anybody to do these things. You don't need Adidas if you want to do a new shoe. Why?
Because you need proper production to bring some of that certain value. I mean, the thing is, put it like this. In order to get, if I want to get this Japanese level thermal, right, at a better price to you, if I'm starting small, I'm not going to be able to get the best price, and I'm going to be losing money to the point where I can't afford it. I went $13 million in debt working on my clothing line, and I'm getting Kanye Wested constantly with the prices everywhere I go. So that means that if someone got less money than me, they charging me a bunch more because they look at me as the money. That's something they do. They take these celebrities and they show you this fabulous life of non-billionaires. That's not I'm talking about it's maybe it's like 20 hot celebrities a year. It's 1,470 billionaires. Those 20 hot celebrities if they were billionaires, they could make sure they're celebrities forever.
Yeah.
But they be out of there. They get the wrong hit. They get in trouble. They do this. They lose this contract, blah, blah, blah. They are controlled by that. One thing is, I was out in Italy, even right now, trying to start my own company. The type of people that work with musicians, for the most part, is very difficult to get high-end, respected fashion people to work with someone that's considered to be a musician.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get the good people because tell me this, if someone was a fashion designer and came to Dr. Dre, would Dr. Dre produce for them?
No,
it's hard.
yeah.
It's just as hard as it was bringing Mos Def to the studio with Jay-Z. Now it's like, and that's what the college dropout was. It was the combination of those things. But let's thank Adidas for giving me the opportunity. It wasn't that Nike didn't offer me a contract. It still was extremely marginalized and a slap in my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they let me design, it's like, yeah, they did me a favor by letting me design, but they let other people design. They let Pharrell design. They let Eminem design. I just designed the Yeezys. I turned up where they didn't think I could turn up that far. And they tried to hold it back. It was like that moment, when I thought about taking Nicki's verse off of Monster, because I knew people would say that was the best verse on the best hip-hop album of all time, or arguably top 10 albums of all time, right? And I would do all that work, 8 months of work on Dark Fantasy, and people to this day would say to me, oh, my favorite thing was Nicki Minaj's verse. So if I let my ego get the best of me, instead of letting that girl get the shot to get that platform and become all she could be, I would take it off or marginalize her, try to stop her from having that shining moment. So what happens when Mark Parker's riding on his jet? Would somebody come up to him and say, my son's favorite shoe is a Yeezy? Now, they could have been working on the Flynet for 5 years and working on this project, blah, but what I was doing was so disruptive. As disruptive as that Nicki Minaj Monster verse was, is how disruptive the Yeezys were. People hadn't felt that feeling since the Jordans. And by the way, the Jordans only popular at this point because of two people, me and Don C. Because Don C was ordering them vintage Jordans when the 4s used to break apart on the sole, and we was wearing them back when I was wearing a Louis Vuitton backpack with the polos, and the brand Jordan looked at us and said, oh man, we got to start retroing them. Because when you think of Jordans, what you think of, you don't even know what the new Jordans look like. All you think about is them retros.
What's going to happen with the Red Octobers?
You know what Nike told me when I asked them? We ain't sure. You know what they told the store though, of my boy that run a store? They said, if y'all want that Red October, you got to take these 10 other shoes. So they told me they ain't sure. But then they told him, if you want that Red October, but legally, we got to both sign that contract, Mark Parker. I'm going to put Mark Parker all on that Summer Jam screen. And by the way, Mark Parker, yes, I will still accept an investment in Donda. I got some more ideas that don't involve shoes. But if you guys are investing in the arts, y'all want to invest in this school in Brazil, y'all want to go to Africa, I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol. I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what?
You ain't got.
Come on, chill out.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you.
You ain't been doing the education,
bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Calm down.
You don't have the answers though.
Calm down.
Because you trying to give me advice about something. You ain't got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money trying to empower yourself.
Yes, but I spent hundreds of thousands and putting out clothing lines at a smaller degree. All I'm asking you,
and it ain't no Ralph though. It ain't Ralph level.
Let me ask you this: I'm asking.
What's the name of your clothing line? We don't know.
Kanye,
you know what I'm saying?
Because I lost money, but that's not
exactly. And I can lose money on a higher level too.
Don't think just because.
Don't think because I got the most or the least money.
Let me finish my question, dog.
Man, man.
Let me hear the question.
You don't have the answers.
I'm asking you for the answer. It's a question. Why is it that you can't? You have money.
I just told you I lost the money because I did not have the knowledge of how to do it the right way.
So you don't have the money to do it. That's your answer. You ain't got to turn up, man. This ain't no fucking show, man.
No,
I'm talking to you as a homie.
No, it ain't no homie, man, because the thing is, the bottom line is,
man, I'm saying, you ain't got to turn up you ain't got to, hold up. You disrespect,
ain't no hold up.
Listen, bro.
Ain't no hold up.
It ain't got to be no hold up. I'm asking you a question.
Ain't no hold up.
I'm asking you a question.
No hold up.
What do you mean it ain't no hold up, man? We here talking as civilized people. I'm trying to understand your world because when I go to your concert, I'm curious about what you're saying. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you the questions.
Well, I'm going to explain to you what it is.
Okay, but you ain't got to turn up on me man to man, dog. Fuck these mics. We could turn all this shit off. You ain't got to do this. It's cool. I love you, bro. But you ain't got to turn up. Don't try to embarrass us.
I'm not trying to embarrass y'all. What I'm trying to say to y'all is this industry of what I'm trying to get into, ain't nobody never broke down. Ain't nobody broke down. We all slaves. So I ain't trying to disrespect you on your show. We all slaves or something.
About my show, yeah.
I ain't trying to disrespect you, period. Let me talk if you're going to have me talk. We all slaves. We all slaves. And y'all ain't experienced nothing right here but a moment from a movie out of glory. Back in the days, the slaves had enough money they could buy their own freedom. We all say we slaves to Nike. We slaves to Benz. We slaves to public perception. We slaves to not looking, what somebody going to say after the interview. Why you let Kanye do that? You should have checked him.
I don't give a
I love you, man. I'm sorry. I love you, man. I'm sorry,
that's
okay?
Fine, that's fine.
But look at this. This is exactly what would happen at the French Revolution. This is exactly what happened. I'm sure some arguments with Harriet Tubman and other people talking about, let's go this way, let's go that way. But what I'm trying to say is I sat in Paris and met with these people. I invested my own money and lost money. I made T-shirts that made money. I made music that made money. But at the end of the day, Lucy and Grain still cut my music checks.
It's the Sway in the Morning Rewind, only on Shade 45.
Kanye West.
See, I could turn around you because I love you as my brother. We got history. I know that we going to hug it out. Everything is cool and
we're
stuff.
Good money. But and we haven't talked in a while. And what you go through. And by the way, I am always in your corner.
Yeah.
And you're right. You're in a realm where we don't know. People don't know what you're experiencing. Man, all these fucking names you name it sound foreign to me, bro. Because we don't know. But we need you to explain it. If I ask you a question, man, you can't blow up on it. I'm trying to understand why can't you? I don't understand. Now I do. I don't understand why you need these people to get your music out. You got the internet. You the king of the internet. When you did your Good Fridays, that was fucking internet. Nobody did nothing like that. Why you need those people is what I don't understand. But you explained it to me. That's a fair question. Let's talk about your music real quick, though. All right. Because I know you got to go.
Yes, my drink is running out too, Sway. Goodness.
First of all, the Yeezus album was incredible to me.
Thank you.
There's a lot of messaging that I liked. Sonically, it was different. It reminded me of a time we were on the road talking to veterans, and I asked you about music, and you said, I don't use sounds. I said, how you picking your sounds? You said, I don't see music as sounds. I see it as colors. So when I listen to your music, that's what I do. I see it as colors. Two things. I'm curious to why Pusha T and Big Sean weren't on this tour when they're good music artists. Why you decided not to put them on the tour?
Well, every artist that makes good music is on good music.
Mm-hmm.
Drake on good music.
Okay.
Wayne on good music. James Blake on good music, Frank Ocean on good music. You make good music, you on good music in my mind. I'm not marginalized by the brand of the deal that I've taken from Universal in order to cut some of my homeboys some checks so that we can, work on creative projects together. I'm not marginalized by the branding concept of good music versus cash money. All I do, text baby like, yo, we need to do something together. You know what I'm saying? We not each other's enemies. And everybody got to get their own, maybe it's just a piano that I bring in for John Legend, executive produce that. Maybe it's an art package that I do for Pusha, or beg him to take like a certain song off that I think sound too commercial, because, we didn't, we didn't quite get to that with Big Sean on some of the songs that I wanted to take off and stuff. And it upset me as a hip hop artist a bit. And now he gonna turn up on this next one, and we talked it out and everything, and that's what it's gonna be. But I think that for me, I serve as an inspiration. Why I think we do go hard. I feel like starting from the bottom, now we here is Drake rapping harder because we pushing harder. We pushing each other like when Jadakiss and Styles are spitting, we had to push each other. And what I'm establishing with Yeezus is, you know, to take that stance, and I put my whole family on my back and I say fuck the radio. As that number one most important artist of our generation to say that. And I'm saying fuck the radio, not saying I don't want to be played on the radio, but it's just saying stop making songs for the radio, make songs for the people. Make songs, and then some people could say, well, man, I don't feel like Yeezus is for the people. I don't feel like blah, blah, blah. Or make songs for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make songs, because for me, I like On Site. I like all the songs. That's the shit that's enjoyable for me to listen to after I'm, because when I was in Paris, man, I worked on that album. I'm sitting, my mom nicknamed me Mandela when I was a shorty. I wanted to burn those buildings down. It's a misconception that I said boycott Louis Vuitton. You can't I wouldn't tell nobody to boycott a brand ain't nobody even thinking about no more. Nobody think about buying no Louis Vuitton. That brand old. You know what I'm saying? Nobody think about that brand. I wouldn't say boycott that brand. I'm talking about some relevancy, but I wanted to go in and turn, because let me tell you something else that is so hip-hop. The music and the clothing are just as important. That's what make you hip-hop. You show people that you hip-hop by what you wear. So if I was able to be considered a person that wasn't allowed to be hip-hop, wasn't allowed to be a rapper, and I went in and turned around and became the most important, not rapper, but artist of the past 10 years, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be the first straight hip-hop, loud, celebrity, non-etiquette having, blackout all the time, fresh-ass, super tasteful designer of all time. I'm going to be the Tupac of clothing. You can't be a bigger music superstar than Michael Jackson. You can't be a bigger basketball star than Michael Jordan. You can't be a bigger rapper than Tupac. But it's a space and it's product territory to Steve Jobs that all the way.
Can I? Okay. And I respect that, and I think that's what makes you great. That's what makes you an inspiration. You're fearless. Okay? And we need that in hip-hop. I've seen that with Pac. I see that with you. I've seen that with Jay. I see that with Drake in the way he makes his music. You know, people critique him by this. He going through similar things you went through, but he's fearless. But at the end of the day, too, at the core of all this, what made me like you in the first place is that you're talented and you know how to rap well. So all this shit started with rap, bro.
Yes, wait a minute, Shade 45, hip-hop.
Our team, yo.
Man, interesting bunch here. Thank you so much, Tracy G, for hanging out with us today.
Of course. I gotta be here.
You gotta be here. I didn't want to make it seem like you gotta. Kanye said we were all slaves. I didn't want to make it seem gotta, but you're here. Thank you, Tracy G. Where can people reach you?
I can be reached on Twitter at It's Tracy G with no EITSTRACYG, and that's the same for guess what? Instagram.
I can be reached at the Happy Hour with HeatherB.com, at the Happy Hour WHB on Instagram and Twitter, and of course, Sway. Hit him up at Real Sway, Instagram and Twitter, and also Sway'sUniverse.com. So much footage, so many photos, lots of interviews. You can get it all there. DJ Wonder, make sure you hit him up at DJ Wonder. And the same for OQ, he's at I am OQ. That's right. Okay, got it. All right, no doubt. Tomorrow's show, E40.
Wow.
Sway's going to be really excited. That's the whole Bay Area Association and all of that. Sprinkle Me Maine, I like him. The one and only 7th Streeter. She was also doing the red carpet.
Yeah, for Black Girls Rock. Oh, yeah, and for Soul Train Awards.
Yeah, she did a great job. Happy for 7th Streeter. She has her album out. And last but not least, wow, Tracy G, this is a big one. William Dafoe. Now, there's a lot of controversy about him because, you know, he had that whole scene with Madonna performing that oral sex, and we want to know if that's real or not. That's way back in the day. He also played the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, so he's an interesting guy. Can't wait to talk to him. So, citizens, that's up for tomorrow. Y'all have a safe day. Be blessed. We have nothing left to say.